Welcome to Gloria's Gap Live. I have with me today two amazing women who are celebrating a big deal, 125th anniversary for the Miami Women's Club. I've got Linda Joseph, the beautiful lady with the white hair, and Metris Batts. Metris is the president of the club. So this is an historic year for you to be president of that club.
Absolutely.
And we have a big celebration coming up. Before we start, we have to thank South Florida PBS. South Florida PBS, God bless them, sponsors my show week after week and allows us to bring people that are doing positive things in our community, like the Miami Women's Club. So I thank you for joining us today. And let's talk about, Metris, let's have you start talking about the big event coming up on November 8th.
November 8th, yes.
And tell us about where the club is, first of all.
So we are located in Edgewater, which is the neighborhood in the city of Miami on Biscayne Bay. We're at 1737 North Bayshore Drive. We're a historic property. It's the Miami Women's Club. And I'm excited to say, before our gala on November 8th, the name of the Miami Women's Club will be restored to the building.
Oh my goodness! Congratulations!
Thank you.
Big announcement.
Yes.
Yes. Oh gracious. Yeah. So tell me about the event, because I'm looking forward to it.
So the event is on November 8th, and that day was just chosen randomly because we wanted to make sure it was in the beginning of the gala celebration season, but it was after the summer. It gave us time to get back into club year, and it's an opportunity to acknowledge 125 years of existence and service, but also let people know who we are. We've been through reorganization, renovation, reconstruction, a BBL, and a lot of people, because we don't self-promote, a lot of people don't know who the Miami Women's Club is. We heard a lot of formerly the Miami Women's Club, or because we weren't in the building while it was being renovated for 13 years.
Oh, right. So
we were out of the building. So
they figured you were no longer around.
They figured that we were the building was our identity, and it didn't connect. So
you were still around. You were just homeless.
Well, we were
for a while.
We were still around, and we still operated as a club, and we still did the community work that we've been known to do. But people associated the women's club with the building,
right?
Which today, with social media, that's how people associate you with something concrete and tangible. And so now that we are in the building, we got back in the building in 2022.
Right.
We have two amazing subtenants in the building, and they get a lot of press, a lot of coverage.
They do.
They have Casadonna on the first floor and Claw on the fourth, and the rooftop bar is absolutely amazing. Right. But we definitely want the world to know, thanks to Linda Joseph and her crew, that the building is renovated, and it's still the Miami Women's Club. So Casadonna and Claw are housed at the Miami Women's Club.
At the Miami Women's Club.
And the Miami Women's Club is owned by the members of the Miami Women's Club.
Right.
Exclusively. There's nobody else that owns any of that land, building, or bayfront. It's all the Miami Women's Club.
Exactly, and it's so great. We have other clubs in our District 11 that also own their own buildings, and maintaining them and whatever. And especially when you have an historic building,
yes,
it's a good thing you have tenants, because just maintaining the building is a lot to carry.
It's I say it as the best public-private partnership to identify someone who can come in and partner with us to renovate the building, make sure that we have subtenants so that we never have to worry about history repeating itself. Right. As I've been a member since 2008, so as I dig through the archives and I learn more about our history, I also saw that at times when the economy changed, when World War II came, the building structure began to deteriorate. And we didn't know then what we know today about the 40-year recertification and making sure building structures are sound. Yeah. And so looking at history, twice in our history, we went through the building needing extra attention that we weren't aware of. So in the 1940s, there was some iron trestles on the building that had to be removed and could not be restored because of structure and zoning and architectural design. So that was one time. And then after our last long-term tenant, there was some structural issues. We all learned from Surfside that we have to pay attention to the 40-year recertification. So during that time, making sure the 40-year certification was up to date and current, it gave us an opportunity to position the organization not to have to worry about that part of doing business as a nonprofit.
So when was your last certification, your 40-year, your last one?
2016.
Yeah, 2016.
Okay, so you're coming up next year. You have to, isn't it like every 10 years now after you get your 40?
I don't know.
Because it took us 6 years to get our 40-year done.
Right.
We just finished it.
I don't know the code. However, I do know, because of the way our public-private partnership and the way that we worked out our contracts, that we are not going to worry the way we used to have to worry about getting it
because
done.
you've got income coming in from your tenants.
We've learned from learned from past experiences to make sure that that strategy has been addressed and well taken care of, so that future generations never have to worry about the building being in disrepair or not being able to meet the new code or upgrade certain things. We are now in position to never have to worry about that. So that gives us an opportunity to celebrate in grand style, to have a gala where we're activating the first floor, our club floor, and the rooftop, and to focus on service.
So pretty much, folks, this is a progressive dinner.
Yes.
Which I love progressive dinners, but I love it even more that we don't have to get in a form of transportation to go from one place to another.
Yes.
All we have to do is get in an elevator or stairs, whatever. So I'm so excited about that. So Linda, you've been around longer than Madam President. Tell me.
Yeah, not only in age, but also in club membership. Yes.
No, that's what I'm saying. So I know you've seen a lot of changes.
Yes.
But take us down the road a little bit and from your viewpoint.
Well, the reason that actually I joined the club, I've never been a person who was a club member. My husband and I owned all of our own businesses, and we always had our hands full taking care of everything that we were working on. So when the Miami Women's Club was in disrepair so badly that it was getting to the point that there was going to be maybe a developer come in and build something there and everything, I live next door. So the Grand and all of our women there got involved and motivated to do something. So I joined the Miami Women's Club. It wasn't long before our new members, because the old membership was so advanced in age and unable.
You're so tactful.
That was so nice. That was so nice.
Unable to really maintain.
They were aging out. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, exactly. They were. So we quickly became elected as officers.
Yeah.
And so all of the new people kind of took over and says, well, what are we going to do? We ran the building for a little while. We had a couple of activities. We had a Casa Decor in there at one time, which stripped everything inside the building and made it into design rooms. Each different room was made into a designer showcase bedroom, a bathroom, a living room.
Really?
Yeah, it was really amazing. And we did that just because we had to get it cleaned up and get it back to bare bones so that we knew what we had to do. Once we had it to that point, Casa Decor left, and it was just stripped. And we found out all of the problems that we had from the previous tenant that had caused so much damage to the building. So we started exploring and trying to find someone to come in and help us that was financially stable and could use that property.
Right.
So we had charrettes. We brought all the membership in. We had everybody that wanted to do something present a program and tell us what they wanted to do. Our members all voted, and we ended up partnering with the HEFI group, which is a Canadian group, but is headquartered here in Miami. Mm-hmm. And they have been the best partners we could have ever found, because they are so intent on keeping this building up and running and in good shape. They are the ones who went out and found the subtenants. And
really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Even the first floor, the restaurant there is named Casa Donna, which in Italian means House of the Woman.
Yeah, right.
So it was a lot of good correlations with everything that we did. And once we got that started, then we had to start the reconstruction. And basically, our building has a building built inside of that building. All of the rafters, or all of the base of the building itself was built on Florida pine, which was wonderful, but a 125-year-old Florida pine is not going to hold up all of that was going on top of it. So we had to redo the whole, from the inside, tear up the bottom floor, put in all new base
Rebarb
and everything.
And whatever. Yeah.
Everything had to be redone there. So it had to start from the bottom up, and it was a long, arduous.
How long did it take?
It took about 3 years.
3? Yeah.
3 years to get it completely
Well, considering
done.
you have to take things down before you can start even
Yes.
redoing.
But
Yeah.
we had a group of women and a couple advisors who helped us, and we worked through a contract with the Heafy group that is so good for us. It keeps us stable and not having to worry about things for a long, long time.
Oh, that's what
Yeah.
a great story.
Yeah.
Because I know there were a lot of people that, had to lobby and to make sure that didn't get torn down.
Torn down, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it
you
was
could have
hard work.
lost your clubhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we did it. We got
And
it
it's
done.
so beautiful. Yeah, it's a fun place to do things. And
It's a great juxtaposition between, if you look at all the high rises that are built around it, and then this little gem right on the bay.
I know, right?
It's just amazing.
And such an amazing view.
Yes.
I mean, it's like crazy. People kill for this view,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah. So, so congratulations on that, because that was quite a feat. And I know you had some great members that were spearheading that.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, Noreen and...
Noreen Timoney
and
took over, and she was president first when we went in together. She and I went in, and I was her right-hand man for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And we had several board members who've been with us all along the way,
Right.
especially the one that was head of the gala. Clara Atkins
Clara
has been
Atkins,
a
who was
great
supposed to be here today, but she was feeling under the weather.
under the
so,
weather. She has.
You're working her too hard.
Okay, they can. I told them that they could take off the month of December.
Oh, is that what you did?
Yeah.
After the holiday gathering.
Oh, good.
After that,
So you're the taskmaster.
Yeah.
I'm the as president. It is my role to delegate and encourage and allow people to lead and
Right.
learn. And so in my first year, I've been experimenting with allowing them to lead and learn while I come up with these amazing ideas. And then they say, you do know how old we are.
Oh, they say that?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, no.
And then I have
They
to.
can't say that to me.
And then I calculate, and I was like, ooh. But then I look around GFWC, and I see how old the membership is across the state and across the country.
Right.
And I think
And see what they do.
it keeps us active. And I have to say, comparing club women to other women, other organizations, I think we are more lively, more active, and more engaged in community because we stay busy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's easy to recruit people when they see that you're doing great things in the community.
Yeah. My only
And-
requirement is that you don't do early morning events anymore. But but we do pretty good. We do a lot of afternoon and evening events.
I'm at
no
work
problem.
at 7 o'clock every morning, 7:30 every morning. And it doesn't matter.
That's one luxury I enjoy.
So if it's a morning event, it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to lose like 3 hours of work. But it doesn't bother me, I always, well, that's a great thing about working for community newspapers is such a blessing because I have a lot of flexibility and I can help a lot of people. So, and I love the idea that I can help my sister clubs.
So I did not realize that this was your job.
Well-
I thought this was just your community service activities.
Well, there's a lot of my job that is that.
Okay.
They call me they named me the senior public relations advisor because I had too many jobs. But I write for the paper. I'm not writing because I'm getting paid to write. I'm writing because I want to publicize what people are doing, which is how I ended up getting the show. Because they said, "You're writing about all these wonderful things that are happening. Don't you want to have a show?" I go, well, I'll try it out, because we were just playing with the idea of having shows, video podcasts. Yes, I've been doing it. I've had, 150, 200 shows since then, but I bring on people that I like to bring on, too.
It didn't register until
I know a lot of people.
I see the articles, I see the pictures, but it didn't register until I walked in. I was like, oh, it's not just her hobby. This is professional opportunity. This is an opportunity. I love the fact that
I've been writing even before I took the job full time.
So it's great to see someone living their passion.
Oh yeah, I know.
Going to work. I
love that. I would, if I weren't getting, well, and make money by helping people actually do their PR and marketing. There is that business side, but I spend as much time on the nonprofit stuff as I do on the business stuff. But you probably do too. I think you both do.
Yeah. I do. I could probably tell you how many planks are on the floor at the women's club and what paint marks are where and what wear and tear is there. But it's out of passion. And as president, digging through the archives and learning about why it's so important to celebrate the 125 years.
Yeah.
Because when you don't know your history, you tend to repeat it, but also you don't acknowledge the past contributions of the people who laid the foundation.
The people who laid the groundwork.
So in looking through the archives and looking through the things, it made me more excited about I've always been excited. I've been a member since 2008. I've been on the board since 2010. It's always made me excited about being a member, but going through the archives and digging through the yearbooks and looking at the fact that the club is 125 years old, just 4 years younger than the city of Miami, but also looking at the archives and looking how the relationship with the city and the elected officials in the celebrating of the city's birthday parties.
And how much women played a part in the creation of the city of Miami.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? You guys have brought to my attention things that I didn't know, because I know a lot of the projects you do and ongoing, I've seen over the years, the suffragist.
Yes.
How, women got the right to vote, but black women didn't until black men before black women.
Right.
Which is, men always got everything first.
But they would work together.
Yeah,
just
I know.
Because they didn't get to vote, they still worked with all the women.
Exactly.
Together.
Yeah. So it's really interesting how all of our clubs, the Coral Gables Women's Club just celebrated their 100th anniversary, like 2 years ago. Yeah, and now I'm starting a new club, the Doral West-Dade Women's Club.
Congratulations!
And I got to thinking about that, because you're celebrating 100, and I go, well, I guess we should be documenting everything we're doing. So 100 years from now, they'll have that.
So one of the things that I'm learning and seeing as a part of GFWC, that history is preserved through what the women's clubs have done across the country. And a lot of Paul George and a lot of historians go to women's clubs to get firsthand information.
It's interesting, isn't it?
In my job, which I love, the correlation between historic preservation and women's clubs. I was minding my own business in Tallahassee, and then someone gets up and they talk about when you start your research and you go into a new community, go find your local women's club and ask for their yearbooks. So of course I heard women's club, and I was like, oh. And they talked about how women's clubs do, if something happened in the community, it's usually the women's club members were the first responders. If a building burned, a church burned, or somebody needed to get fed, clothed, reading, whatever it was, if militaries needed a place for respite, it was the women's clubs.
Absolutely.
Who documented all that. So
the funny thing is, sometimes it's not even recognized. We uncovered a cornerstone in Coral Gables Elementary that acknowledged that Coral Gables Junior Women's Club was was responsible or something for setting up the kindergartners.
Yes.
So it was like, if they hadn't, because they were doing renovations, if they hadn't found that, we didn't have that anywhere. It wasn't documented. So that's why I'm thinking, gosh, you start a new club, you really need to.
You have to document the founding members and their legacy and what they're connected to. Like, I didn't realize that Margaret Pace Park, which is right next to our club, I didn't realize that she was the first vice president of the Miami Women's Club. I'm digging through the archives,
Yeah.
And then I see Margaret Pace, and I was like, that's the part. And so now I'm trying to dig and find all the information. She was also responsible for starting some of the first garden clubs.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And then I started digging through just different archives, which made it even more important about the gala, the city of Miami's flag. In 1933, I found a letter that is in FIU's archives. A letter from the president of the Miami Women's Club to the city commissioners, having a conversation because the city commissioners asked the Miami Women's Club to come up with a design for the flag.
Oh,
Miami
really?
Women's Club contacted a designer. So we saw the letter from the women to the commissioner, a letter from the designer to the commissioner. So I went down to City Hall and I said, I'm looking for the third piece of this. And what they were able to give us was the city commission meeting on November 13th, 1933, which is in alignment with the dates of those letters, ratifying that that designer was responsible for the creation of the city of Miami's flag.
So indirectly,
Yes.
it was through the Miami Women's Club.
The Miami
How
Women's
fun
Club
is
hired
that?
that designer, yeah.
Hired the designer.
Is
hired
that
that designer.
right?
And so just dig, like in preparing to how we tell our story,
Yeah.
digging, and it's public information, but no one knows. And so when you don't talk about these things,
Yeah.
it tends to not become important, and you don't wonder why. So now I'm looking at the Miami flag. I'm like, I walk into places and I'm thinking, okay, where's the Miami flag? So
Yeah,
just know by the time the gala gets here, there will be a prominently located City of Miami flag in our, in our building.
For sure.
So just looking at the connections of the different women, hearing Dr. Fields' story, Dr. Dorothy Fields, who's the founder of the Black Archives. Her father was the caretaker of the building.
Oh, right. Dorothy Fields.
Dorothy
Why
Fields.
okay.
Yeah, Dr. Dorothy Fields.
Yeah.
So
no, I know her as Dorothy Fields.
yeah,
Wait,
right.
okay,
So
what?
looking at and so we have this amazing Barbie doll collection that when the club turned 100, it was a feature article in the neighbor section for the Miami Herald. So we pulled out these dolls, and there's a doll that's fashioned after her stepfather.
Oh, no way.
And so he was like, okay, so my goal, my ambition for next year, we looked at all the dolls, and there's 5 dolls missing. So they stopped producing the dolls in 2004. And so Betty Lash, Noreen Timoney, Linda Joseph, and Shirley Parton are having dolls dressed as they were dressed for their installation.
Oh, no.
And so that will be
Really?
for
That's where all the
next year.
dolls are dressed in duplicate outfits.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. How cool is that?
So for next year, that will be an opportunity to just talk about Barbie dolls.
Right.
Especially when I saw that Barbie movie, it hit differently after I began to learn the history of the club and see those dolls. And
Right.
in the box with those dolls, there was a brown doll. So when I looked in the box, I was with Nan, I looked in the box, and there was like 5 more dolls. And that box had been carried around for about 10 years.
Yeah.
It had
that
not
right?
been opened. I looked
my
in
goodness.
the
Since we
box.
closed the club.
Oh, right.
So I looked in the box and I said, well, I guess that's me. And I think because Barbie dolls represent all women,
Right.
I think it's a great opportunity to continue the tradition of past presidents having these dolls, because it's great content, but it also shows that why it's important for diversity,
Right.
why people should see a doll that looks like them, because some have blonde hair, some have blue eyes,
Right.
some are tall, some are short. You know, Barbie represents women.
Yeah, right.
In the changing landscape of who we are and how we describe ourselves. You can't take away the fact that we are women. So
Right.
having these Barbie dolls that are dressed, modeled after the presidents, it's just another way to honor the sacrifice and the work that the position of president has done for the clubs under leadership.
Right.
And I want to
Interesting.
blow Metris's horn just a little bit here, because she is our first black president of the Miami Women's Club. And her presence in the General Federation of Women's Clubs has been an enormous event that all of the country has seen, and understand that the diversity that we need in our women's clubs is very relevant. And we kind of started a movement by going to the Florida conventions and things like that, and representing the diversity that we have chosen as the Miami Women's Club, that we'll have a lot of, we've gotten a lot of attention, and I think the General Federation is very happy with the way things are going. I think we do have other black presidents in the state now.
Yeah.
So
well, we have before you, too. There were, I know about some that
Well,
you were not the first in the state.
Well,
but
no,
you were
I'm the first
for the Miami Club.
The thing is, it's the first for the Miami Women's Clubs after 124 years. And not saying that it could have been different.
Yeah.
It
could have been a lot. Well, maybe.
When it's time, when the right time is the right time. So when I'm introducing myself or saying the reason that I'm here, it is built on the foundation of the last 5 presidents. Betty Lash, Linda Joseph, Noreen Timoney, and Shirley Park made it possible for me to be the
where
president.
you are.
So when I talk about District 11, when I'm talking about the black presidents, I acknowledge the historic Overtown Women's Club in Homestead, because when I became president, Cristal was president of Homestead, Levette was president of Overtown, and I'm president of the Miami Women's Club.
How's Levette doing, by the way?
Levette is doing well.
Yeah. And what are they up to? Because we should be talking about you, but I'm just curious.
So let me say this: last night,
I love her.
At the Commission for Women, I was supposed to be talking about the Miami Women's Club, but I talked about the district and the fact that there are 12 clubs and what our charge is. So Levette is the president of the Overtown Women's Club, and they meet at the
historic police
the Black
Museum.
Historic Police Museum, which is a great opportunity to tell 2 stories at the same time. They don't have to worry about a space to
that's
meet,
great.
which I think that
I need a space.
we understand, it just makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
They can partner and support that organization.
Right.
I mean, and everybody, it's centrally located. And so what I don't do, although we're the Miami Women's Club and Overtown is in the city of Miami,
Right.
I don't recruit out of Overtown. There are people who want to join the Miami Women's Club who I refer to the Overtown Women's Club.
Yeah.
Just because if you, to Linda joined because the building was right next to where she lived in her neighborhood.
Right.
Although we support everybody around the state, around the country, and internationally, I just think that being a part of your local club in your neighborhood makes it easier for you to make the sacrifice.
Yeah, most of
to
our
lug,
clubs.
to lug your cart next door and decorate for every monthly meeting because it's right
Is
next
that
door.
what you do?
That's kind of
that's
the niche of what I've grown into is the Arts Commission.
It's funny that the Coral Gables Women's Club now, we've got a lot of those big, beautiful condos all around us, and we're starting to get like people, all you need is one person in a condo. All of a sudden you get their friends. So we've had a lot of that, and like you said, they walk across the street, come to the meeting, and they don't mind staying late. I have to drive a half an hour to get.
And so it's not that I don't want them, but also I like the fact that you can be members of multiple clubs.
Now I am. Are you a member of both?
I'm not. I refuse to be. I won't even join the Blue Umbrella, which is our cyber club, which was started by Diane Foster, who was the past president. I think it's great, but when you are a board member or active member, how do you divide your time and not leave something behind? Is this just me? We don't have to.
Oh no,
that's a whole nother show.
I wanted to start a club because there was a need in Doral, but when you get new people that have never been associated with GFWC, you can't leave them on their own.
So much to learn.
So I said, I'll be president for 2 years. And get you guys on your feet, and then I can just be a member. It's in my neighborhood. It's not a big deal.
That's what Diane said too about the Blue Umbrella. Should be there for 2 years.
I think it's great.
I don't even know much about the Blue Umbrella.
I think it's great that you can be a member of multiple clubs, and the fact that we are one of the oldest service organizations in the country, and our membership is older. Being a member of multiple clubs can help us live a little longer. But it can also help us bring in more people. I don't think
I like the idea of when you're on multiple clubs, having those 2 clubs work together for a common goal. That way I do that with all kind of stuff because I'm also on the board of Rotary. So I go, okay, well, Coral Gables Bar and the Rotary Club have joint mixers. Having joint events enables you to not only broaden
people,
exactly, but recruit more people because people may say, "Oh, well, heck, I live downtown. Why not join the Miami Women's Club?
Right.
But
For a Rotary member, and Rotary is just as old as women's clubs, and across the history of GFWC, there's always been a tight relationship with Rotary and the women's club.
'Cause they're
Please
both.
don't tell them that I said that.
well, they're both part of the United Nations.
Yeah, but it has been a documented history that Rotary and women's clubs across the country are great partners. And so we recently did
We have the same goals.
service partnership
Sure, of
with
course.
them. I think it's important for co-collaboration. I never want a club ever again to have to sunset and close their doors because we don't have enough members or can't figure out how to keep it alive. We just lost a club in our district that was founded in like 1945.
I know, the Northeast. Yeah.
And I'm looking, because now I'm digging through history and I'm looking at how important they were to our history.
And is it because there was a change in demographics, or did it become too commercial? I mean, what happened to that area?
I think it's difficult for any club that doesn't have a central place to call their home.
Right.
And that's what happened to them, is that they were meeting at one place and then it was slowly being lost.
Right.
And so they just kind of dissolved.
I think bridging the old with the new. We're in an information technology age, and there's still a gap on technology and sharing information. And I think if we knew that a club needed to close their doors, or the strategy, the help, the support,
we could have done
how
something.
do we collectively, without being told, how do we ensure that
Without being
other
asked for help.
clubs
Yeah.
are able to sustain? So the fact that people can join, and I encourage all my members, you can be members of other GFWC clubs.
But not until you bring 2 new members to our club.
But not until you come home and make sure you're on the committee that you're supposed to be on. So that way it strengthens our network.
Right.
And so one of the things...
Our time is up, just so you know. Let's talk about November 8th.
November 8th.
What are we going to do, because you're sold out? So we have to go to your website and check out other options for you to participate.
Follow us on social
Before,
media, the
after.
website,
Yeah.
GFWC MiamiWomen'sClub.org.
I know
We're
that.
going to have a wait list because we're exploring how to add more opportunities for people to celebrate with us. Maybe on the Saturday evening. We're definitely going to the opera on Sunday with Florida Grand Opera, but all that information will be on our social media.
But the best part is there will be an after party that is not advertised, but we're just now letting everybody know about it.
3rd floor, Women's Club, 11 o'clock. Say Metris and Linda told y'all to come. We'll settle the score at the door.
Okay, there you go. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for coming, and congratulations on 125 years. I'm so looking forward to November 8th. And anyway, thanks for coming. Again, thank you, South Florida PBS, for sponsoring the show. Until next time, be kind, be safe, and make a difference in our community like these 2 women. Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.